we're having an introduction. Then we're looking at.
Yeah, Western Nepal network here as location this morning. Please kind of with us, everyone.
Hello, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I just got kicked out. Let me share my screen again. Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll be looking at introduction. What in the agile model is more like the manifesto values. Now, in the manifesto values, what we have under the manifesto values are more like the the ABCs of the agile model. So once you want to know if a particular methodology is making use of the agile model, it must possess these manifesto values. Then we'll go into some of the techniques and some of the agile model techniques. Then we have the completion. All right. So now the agile model is a customer focused, it's a profit driven process now, in which when developing software projects or when working on software projects, this the process of development keeps going on and on again and again until the project reaches its desired state. And every time the process is being iterated, or every time the project is being that's the development process is being taken and run over again and again, something new is being added. So in essence, what you're seeing is that the agile model comprises of both the iterative model and the incremental model of software development lifecycle. So that's just a quick introduction as to what the agile model entails and what it's about. Right. So now the Agile Manifesto values. Now these are what we call the ABCs of the Agile model, and when you follow through these guidelines, you are able to really, um, decipher the the model that is being used. So firstly, one thing that you should know about the Agile model is that it's it is more individual. It's more of individuals and interactions compared to processes and tools. For example, when we look at the traditional SDLCs, that now like waterfall model, so each process is dependent on the process before it. You have you can have a prototype, you can have a design if you've not carefully considered the requirements, and drawn out a plan that should be used for the project. You can't have, the main project being built if the prototype is not working. You know, but here, what we see about agile is that this is focuses more on the individuals interactions. People respond to business needs and drive the development process, not tools. Tools are, by their very nature, less responsive to change and unable to meet customers. So, what you can say about agile model is that the agile model is more people oriented. It's more people oriented, and also for the agile model, instead of having a documentation of of the the project requirement or the project needs, what agile model kind of presents is more like a working software. Remember I said earlier on that agile model comprises of both the iterative SDLC and the SDLC. So now, and I remember I said earlier on that after every project process, a working prototype or a working model of of the final product is being released basically. So agile focuses on a working software over let's say a whole list of like documentation that should contain whatever it is that the project should reach. So documentation has its value, but it should never be prioritized over the product. So when we're talking about the agile value, we focus more on the working software, the working product compared to documentation. All right. So it is more of customer collaboration. Now, in this, this model, that's the agile model. Now, how you know if it is agile is that um, it is more of you are putting it together with what the customer, like you are getting feedback from the customer. You are more of throughout the project, you are in constant collaboration, in constant interaction with the customer. So that is the agile model entails. Now it is it is more customer oriented compared to a traditional or the traditional SDLC, whereby the customer just comes, gives you all the requirements for like for the project before the work starts, and then there's leads for the product backlogs, etc. So premium um premium attention is placed on the customer when you're talking of the agile model. Also, now the agile model is more flexible compared to other. Okay, sorry. Oh, hope you can hear me. Sorry, I got cut off the other time. All right. So yes, yeah. As I was saying earlier on that, the agile model places premium quality on whatever it is that the customer has to give to project, and also instead of following some laid down rules or following a plan, the agile model is very flexible. It is very adaptable. This short time scale allows for changes to be implemented quickly and cost effectively. So agile kind of it is more of a project oriented development model, and it works in short development iteration. So these are what you call the agile manifesto values. These are what you call the the ABCs of what every agile model or agile methodology should possess. If it's not having all these qualities, then it's really not an agile model. All right, so we'll be looking. So this is what you have as graphic representation. Now, if you take a look at the characters on the like on on my left, it seems more lively compared to the characters on my right. Now that's really because the agile model is it's more interesting, more like it possesses more adventure, and you get to learn more. All right, so we'll be looking at the agile model types and methodologies. So we'll start with Scrum. Now, one thing you should know about Scrum is that Scrum is an agile model type, and it is characterized by stages in development, and those stages are called sprints. Now, one thing you should also know about Scrum is that it makes use of the allotted time for for the project. Maybe it's a landmark project. Maybe you have a vision 2030 in mind, or, like, or a vision 2040 in mind. As far as that project is concerned, you know it's and then you break that the project's um um, phases into like stages. Now, those stages are what you call sprints, and Scrum ensures that it maximizes, that entire span of time in order to bring forth, that exact software product in the mind of the customer. And it is usually used in the management of development projects, for software product. Now, one thing you should also know about Scrum is that there's what we call daily Scrum. What daily Scrum entails is that just like we have stand-ups every morning, that's after KD, more like stand-ups occur every time. And why those like those meetings occur is so as to for all the all who are concerned in the project, those who are to work in the project, what they are just doing basically is to find a way to to move that project forward, find the best way to plan how that project to be worked on. And it is more it is more it's the commitment, the focus, the courage, the respect of all the people involved as far as that project is concerned. So now on my right you will see the Scrum value. Now, if you are to use of Scrum, it's more of fast values compared to how far your thinking capability could go. So um, every day there are like small 15-minute meetings, daily Scrum, that take the role of synchronizing activities and finding the best way to plan the work day. So that is now this is what like like diagram of the Scrum framework. Firstly, you see that the product owner gets gives the the inputs which he gets from the executive teams, stakeholders, customers, the users, feedback, like maybe the product backlogs, and it's sort of what you call like a sprint planning meeting, whereby the product owner meets with the team, and then they commit to the team what needs to be to be delivered at certain periods of time, at certain spans of time. And then there's what we call like a task breakout, and there is a date like allotted for each of these projects. So there is a daily scrum meeting, sprint review, sprint retrospective, until the final project is delivered. Now, if you look at this framework, you will see um, the work of the active SDLC, and you also see the work of the implementer SDLC. So um, so that's all about the Scrum framework. it's an agile method. So now it has and disadvantages. The transparency allows for the project to be followed by all members of a team or even an organization. Now, those daily scrums are, where everyone gets to give like a report of like maybe what he has worked on and, and what he to do, for that day. So there's more of like transparency of, of where that project is to go, like more like a foresight of where that project is going, and the the landmarks that that project is to accomplish. Also, the focus on quality is constant in Scrum method, resulting in fewer mistakes. Now, the reason is because this project has been spread across, timelines, what we call sprints. So because of that, there is a particular phase that is worked on at each, cycle or at each stage. So there's more focus on the quality that this project is to bring. So there you have fewer mistakes. And the dynamics of this method allow developers to reorganize priorities and also ensure that sprints that have not yet been completed, gets more attention. So if peradventure there is a all right, okay, and there are some disadvantages of the Scrum. The segmentation of the project for agility of like a development team can sometimes lead to lose track of the project as a whole, only focusing on just one part. Now that is actually basically understandable because since the project has been spread across landmarks or or like um, maybe the project is going to be incremented now because of the segmentation of the project, because of how well staged project is. At times the the team could lose track of the project as a whole, maybe because of like maybe like this this situation, maybe team get carried away because of the phase of the project, focusing on just that part alone because of what is to bring from that particular part. Then also each developer role might not be well defined, resulting in some confusion among team members. Okay, all right. So the next one is the Kanban. All right, now the word Kanban is, has a Japanese origin, and it's linked to, this time concept, just in time, and it's mixes of this board notion where you have the to do, doing, and the do. So now what you basically see is that this Kanban model through every flow of software development, and as the software evolves and keeps changing, the information contained in the, like in table changes, and when a task comes into play, more like a new task. Now in this board works with like a card. Now each of those cards contain what is to be done, what is being done, and what is to be done. So that's like where you have the the foresight, then what is being done presently, and then what has been done basically. So now it requires more of where you have the communication, transparency of each of the members of the like of the team that's working on the project, so that you can know each stage. Like for example, someone has been dedicated a part of the project, and then he's not transparent. Maybe he doesn't put like it's on the board. Maybe um maybe a member of that team who depends on that part of that project to be done because he's not well aware of, like, like whatever it is that, of the position of that particular project or of that particular phase of the project, simply will be carried along and be left out. So why I like this Kanban, board is more like everyone sees the board, everyone goes to the board, everyone sees what is happening, everyone knows what is next, everyone knows, what is to be done, like at a particular time. It's very transparent and, very, and very, same, and it's, and it brings about same communication basically. All right. So now, what are the advantages? Easy to view tasks of one project. So now everything, is there on the board. All that is going to be done as far as is concerned is on the board. So it is possible to limit the number of running tasks, that is the amount of work, bearing in mind the solution, the ability, also to focus on the duration of the cycle, how long it takes a task to go from backlog to, its final stage, and allows for continuous deliveries. Now, it is also very possible because for the members of a team to, let's say, misinterpret or, not understand the information shown on the Kanban board, especially even when it is reviewed as outdated. So like those are basically one of the, disadvantages of the Kanban board. And since now it's not like as if there are, time frames in the Kanban board, because the if you know about the agile model, though they are, it is, though it is incremental and it is spread along, as a wide period of time, because there are no time frames. There could be time, like related issues, delays associated. Maybe one, let's say a team, like a part of the team is waiting for this part of the team to complete, if like a part of the project, you have to go on with their own part. You could have issues like that, with the Kanban board. But apart from that, it's a very, very good, model to adopt when, working on a software project. All right, then we have the extreme programming. Now in this extreme programming, it emphasizes more of teamwork, basically. Now, it emphasizes the values such as communication, simplicity, feedback, courage, and respect, and prioritizes customer satisfaction over everything else. Now, that is what the agile model is about. It is more of customer orientation. But one thing, one thing special about this extreme programming is basically the fact that, it's more teamwork. It is based on teamwork. Now, teamwork, carries, a very, very high, priority in the Exchange programming. It offers trust to developers by motivating them, to accept changes, in customer development, even as they arrive in later stage of development cycle. All right, so teamwork is extremely important. Yes, in Exchange programming, hence creating an environment, high productivity, and efficiency in a team. All right, so now one thing you should know about the Exchange programming is that, software testing starts from day one. Now, day one in the sense that once a working software, or a working product is deployed to the, like to the users, feedback is, is gotten immediately, and then those feedbacks are applied to the project. Those feedbacks, are being, incremented to the project. So now that kind of puts everybody on their toes, because now there you have a situation whereby you have two developers working, together on a, like on a PC, together on a project, trying to develop a particular code for, that maybe solve a particular problem. So it kind of puts everybody on their toes, whereby, everyone, is working hard, is working together in order to meet the requirements for the project. So now this is, what you call, a basic scenario. objection programming. We need the the stories, feedbacks from the users, the requirements and everything. Very very important. Now, when that is completed, we go straight into the development, which is the release plan, then acceptance steps, testing. Now, once it is tested, the feedback from that process is fed, like it's given back so that they can start, that meaning they can go over the project again and increment and add more features to the project, and then we have small releases until the project reaches its final state. All right. Oh, so yes, so these are the advantages and disadvantages. Um, because of how simple the everything goes, it kind of works as an advantage because since it's going to be improved, maybe like we're going to have more like an implementation every time. There's a simplicity in the development. Also, the whole process and the whole cycle of the XP is visible. You know, Thereby, you have that's everyone is carried along. Everyone is carried along with the goal and the vision of that particular project. So everyone is kept on their toes. So there's some disadvantages. Now, and what we have here is that now because of um um how like very important the project being worked on is, less importance can be paid to let's say design. Maybe we need extra attention on some issues. Maybe we need extra attention on some matters. Less attention could be paid on those things. Basically, because what we have is a situation where everyone is on their toes to meet the customers demands. Right. So then we have the lean development. Now, for the lean development, it was gotten from the Toyota um, company, and what it does is what you like call a lean function, whereby it eliminates the waste. Let's say it removes the things that are really not important to the project. It empowers the team. It's delivers fast. It says that everyone is also on their toes here. Then it the whole project builds quality, it differs decision, and then there's what we call a station whereby the team now goes back to learn from the project. They learn about the let's say the shortcomings that came because of, let's say, working in the project, and they learn about updates that could be added to the project. So there are what we call like 7 essential principles when it comes to this model type. Now, first thing is deleting the things that sorry, you know, let's say removing the things that don't matter. Everything that does not bring effective value to the customer project, is taken away, it's deleted, and then quality development is a situation whereby all the quality, that's everything that requires for the the development of software project is put into it, and then creating knowledge. The whole team is motivated to document the whole infrastructure to later retain that value. And also, there's also a place where we have to defer commitments. Now, this point encourages the team not to focus too much on planning and anticipating ideas without having a prior and complete understanding of requirements of the business. Now, that's quite explanatory. Then, fast delivery delivers value to the customer as soon as possible. Then there is communication and teamwork between team members. We have a situation whereby the sequence has to be run again and again, and to ensure that there is a perfection of the whole project in order to create a flow of true value. All right. Um, okay, so now these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the lean development. Because of how flexible the lead development is, it allows the team to remove whatever it is might be excesses in the project, thereby saving time and money. It decreases time needed to deliver functionalities, um, easily scalable methodology, and easily adaptable and projects to projects of any dimension. Now, because of how the way now because of the way the lean development is, you have to lose focus since various tasks and projects are divided into like number of elements. Then it requires some documents. Yeah, basically in when you want to carry out this line of work, and we the risk of development may also be there in order to, and there also be be bugs, errors, etc. All right. So now, in conclusion, the agile approach is not like a single methodology. It's not where you have a traditional SDLC, where that each phase of the project develop, like is dependent on the other. There are other methodologies, there are other practices, that, but we obviously want to consider in this presentation, and um, because of how flexible and how adaptable and very efficient the agile model is, we have other types, there's other methodologies that also involve stand-up meetings, dashboard planning, uh, organizations, vendors, sprint planning, etc. And one thing you should know is that they are all, they place premium um, quality on the customer, and its options and vendors. Um, it is very flexible and makes it easier for developer stakeholders as for implementation. Your time is gone. All right. So, does anyone have any questions? All right. Wow.
Uh, is there any question? Faith, you're muted.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I thought you were asking
So, does
something.
anyone? Yes, I was asking. If anybody has a question, any questions?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
just go ahead and ask your question.
All right. All right. Okay. So, I would really want to ask, which model makes of board, which model makes of board, and what makes it very transparent? Can anyone answer that?
I didn't get that. No, you don't get
I
that.
said, which methodology makes use of a board, and why is it transparent? Why is that methodology very transparent? You get a question.
Your voice is breaking seriously. Can you come again? Faith. Oh no, he left.
Oh, sir, can you hear me? I just got problems. All right. So, here's my question. Okay, I'm gonna have to score on. As you,
I think
are you there?
I didn't get the question, please.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Somebody say something.
I'm hearing you, but I don't get the
All
question.
right. I said of the methodologies makes use of what BOERD, and why is that methodology very transparent? For question.
Is it agile?
Yes, yes, yes. I said under
Oh,
the agile methodology, and under the agile model, there are methodologies. So I'm saying which
yeah.
of methodologies we consider today makes it of a board, and why is it transparent?
Hello. Hello.
The network is breaking.
Okay. How much did you get my question?
I see. I like your voice is cracking. Something like that is breaking.
Okay.
You
All
said
right. Let me go again.
Mr. Comfort,
All right.
hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Should I go again?
yes. Come again.
Should I go again?
Yes,
Hello?
come again.
Hello?
Okay. So anyway, just I don't know. I think it's hello, can everyone hear me?
We are hearing you now.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay, okay. But
Uh, this now. Time is up. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Faith, actually, thank you for presenting this morning. Though the network giving us a bad time here. All right. I'm really sorry for that. It happens sometimes. It's time for setting standards. Okay. Those who are present this morning, and as I'm taking very soon, we will announce those who are
Samuel, your voice is not loud enough.
okay. Very soon I will announce those who have merits on random channel. Please kindly do the check. We won't be deducting money this month, but the attendance taking will take effect from next month. So when you see your name on the list, you should determine if you're expecting a deduction or not. All right. So have a good day, everyone. It's time for text time. Let's
Sam, Sam. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. The information should be passed correctly. It's not that money. This default will not be deducted at all. It won't be deducted for this month. Those that have defaulted already, the money will be deducted from their September stipend. So it's not that is not we are not removing it again. It's going to be removed from their September stipend. So if your name is being mentioned, please do well. If there's any excuse you have for any of those things, do well to respond to it. Thank you.